death is utterly acceptable to consciousness and life. There has been endless time of numberless deaths, but neither consciousness nor life has ceased to arise. The felt quantity and cycle to death has not modified the fragility of flowers, even the flowers within our human body. Therefore, our understanding of consciousness and life must be turned to that utter inclusive quality, that clarity and wisdom, that power and untouchable gracefulness this evidence suggests. We must cease to live in our superficial and divided way, seeking and demanding only consciousness and life in the present form we grasp, avoiding and resisting what appears to be the end of consciousness and life in death. The heart is that understanding, that true consciousness, that true life that is under the extreme conditions of life and death. Therefore it is said, that one that is neither born nor come to death, not alive as the limitation of form, not rendered in what appears, and yet it is the living one, than which there is no other, appearing as all of this, but eternally the same. There is only the constant knowledge and enjoyment of the heart, moment to moment, through the instant of all conditions of appearance and disappearance. Of this I am perfectly certain. I am that.
I am the heart. My work is to establish the way of understanding, wherein the heart is lived. If I speak of the light, it is only because God stands always present as light, always ready to be the light, the form, and the life of one who understands and is fallen in the heart. If I speak of fullness, it is only because God stands always present as that fullness which includes and is the nature of all things. Therefore I speak of the heart, the light, and the fullness. But the teaching is simple. Only understand. Live with me and understand. Understand and fall helpless in the heart.
I am not the one who, finding himself awake, does not know who he is. I am not the one who, finding himself in dreams and visions, thinks he has returned to his deeper self. I am not the one who, enjoying the bliss of deep sleep and meditation, thinks he has become free and should not move to any other state. I am not the one who, having slept, awakes. I am the one who is with you now. I am the one who speaks from his own silence. I am the one who always stands present in his own form. I am the one who always and already exists, enjoying his own form as all conditions and states. I am the one about whom there is no mystery and no deeper part. I am the one who always appears exactly as he is. I am the one who is always present. I recognize myself as everything, everyone, every form, every movement. I am always only experiencing my own bliss. I am neither lost nor found. Understanding is my constant intelligence. Inquiry is the form of my action, the motion of my presence, in which I am constantly knowing myself. I am the one who is always known. I continually rise out of the heart, naked and unbounded in the right side. I appear as my form between the heart and the blissful point above. I am the Amrita Nadi. I manifest from the point above to every center, every body, realm, and experience between the upper and lower terminals of the worlds. I continually sacrifice the energies below, the terminal processes of the worlds, to my heart. I live all things. I never return to myself, but always appear as myself. There is no dilemma in the process of my appearance. Those who do not abide as me, already the heart, are always only seeking me from the place where they began. I am only the heart, which is reality. I am only the Amrita Nadi, the bright, which is the form of reality. I always see everything within my own form. In every state, I exist only as my own form. I am the heart who never announces his own form. I am the heart who contains his own form. Therefore, I have neither form nor self. I am eternally in one place, contemplating my own bliss. At that point of contemplation, which is bright, all things appear and are accomplished. The heart is that bliss point of contemplation and presence. The Amrita Nadi is that bright fullness wherein all things appear. I hold up my hands.
The Master of Life said to his devotee, "Look and see, the entire realm of nature arises in me. Whatever may be desired is experienced in me, and he gave insight to the man with mystical vision to conceive the form of God. The man said, "Soul of all souls, how can any man fail to surrender in your company? I see you are the first, the origin of all creative causes, the master of all powers, the ultimate domain of the realm of nature, the eternal radiance, all-pervading, prior even to what is and what is not, the transcendental self. I bow down. I acknowledge my absolute dependence on you. Radiant Master, have mercy. But when I stand again and see you there stretched between heaven and earth in a rainbow of all the colors blazing bright, everything arising in your vast eyes and everything disappearing in your great devouring mouth again, my inward soul begins to shake with the great fear. My mind becomes unsteady, and I fail to be your heart in this moment of vision. Even so, I am thrilled to see what man has never seen before. Now, Divine Master of this body-mind, be kind to me and show me your two-armed form again." The Divine Person spoke to his devotee, "Stop all of this unmanly trembling and this mood of fear. What does it matter if you see this vision of me projected in the realm of nature? It is only me. I am the radiant heart of love, eternally free of fear. Now see me again in my human form as your spiritual master, your friend in love." Then the great person restored the true heart of his devotee and set his breathing free. The vision of his mind's eye dissolved in the natural state of the heart, and the master reappeared to this ordinary eye in which the mind is resolved in bliss, free of every kind of vision or experience. Now the devotee beholds his master from the heart. Now he only sees the free-standing man.
God is outside or beyond us. God is not within us. We are in God. What we perceive or conceive within are only reflections or indications of God. But we take all of that to be ourselves. God is not other than ourselves because we inhere in God. But the truth of ourselves and what we seem to contain is realized only in ecstasy, our self-transcendence, when self and its contents and the entire world are directly and presently recognized to be only God, and not the limited reflections and results of an independent self. God is universal and transcendental being, eternally radiant or alive. That is the one we realize to exist when we transcend the great unconsciousness whereby we are defined as the separate and limited self. We must awaken to the living person of truth, who is all power, radiant fullness, and infinite mystery beyond all knowledge and experience. If our lives become devotion and service to that one in a constant disposition of heartfelt surrender and remembrance, we are already happy, free of fear, and capable of love's work in this world and beyond. The spiritual master has simply realized that one beyond all doubt. The spiritual master only proclaims and points to that one. The spiritual master teaches only the way of the realization of that one, which is awakened understanding, love surrender, fearless equanimity, creative happiness, and service to living beings of all kinds. I have made the way clear. I have established all the agents necessary for practice and its fulfillment. Now I stand aside so that all may observe the one who has done my work and who will do all the work in the future. The one I have always referred to as spiritual master is simply the living and eternal God, the person of love and truth, who is always present among you and who is infinitely more than you. Now give yourself up to that one in the good company I have provided for you. Now and forever, the great blessing is showering upon devotees. This I have noticed. This I proclaim to you with certainty and love. It is easy to recognize self and world, and so realize the Great One. Consider this, and choose the way of life that is greater than the fascinations of death and inwardness.
True wisdom is the capacity for perfect madness. Therefore, only the practice of love has the capacity to keep the wise sane, and only they can love who have been set free of every humorless intent by the intuition of infinite life.
Nobody, not mom or dad or a grandmother or a grandfather or a big sister or big brother or teachers or doctors or soldiers or reverends or athletes or lawyers or TV stars or any people who are working or any people who are playing, not even the president, not even a king or a queen, not even people who love each other know what a single thing is. It is a great and wonderful mystery to all of us that anything is or that we are. And whether somebody says, I don't know how anything came to be, or God made everything, they are simply pointing to the feeling of the mystery, of how everything is, but nobody knows what it really is or how it came to be. As long as we go on feeling this mystery, we feel free and full and happy, and we feel and act free and full and happy to others. This is the secret of being happy from the time you are small until the time you are old. If you will remember every day to feel the mystery, and if you will remember to feel that you are more than what you look like, and if you will remember to be the mystery itself, then you will be happy every day, and all kinds of wonderful happenings will come up for you. You will feel happy, and you will always help and love others, even those who are having trouble feeling happy and are even trying to make you forget the mystery. Someday you may meet someone who has felt the mystery really strong for a long time, so that person feels the mystery all the time and is always happy. Such a person is the best person to learn from about happiness and life and love. I hope you will remember to feel the mystery every day as long as you are awake forever. The best thing to tell anybody is to remember to feel this. I have been doing this for a long time, and it is the best and most important feeling of all. I am very happy I could tell you this. Maybe someday we will meet face to face. Maybe. Anyway, at least you and I will always know that at least one other person somewhere is remembering and feeling and loving the mystery right now.
If there is not the quality of heartfelt devotion to me, the radiant self, then even intelligent understanding of the teaching, commitment to discipline, and compassionate service of others cannot cleanse and relieve the soul of its urges toward fulfillment in the phenomenal realms, high or low. How can I be loved if the hair does not stand on end when there is contemplation of me? How can I be loved if the heart does not melt in my presence? How can I be loved if tears of joy do not pass freely from the eyes when I am standing there? If I am loved, then the entire body-mind is filled by that love. If my devotee is filled by me through love communion, his voice often falters and chokes with the emotion of love. Because he always dwells in contemplation of me at the heart, he often weeps and suddenly laughs. He sings aloud. He always speaks of me. He dances with joy. Even all his movements are a dance of joy in love. Gold can be made pure only through submission to fire. Just so, the soul is purified and liberated from its deep urges only when it submits to self-transcending love communion with me. Such a devotee is awakened to essential unity with me, and his ecstatic presence serves the purification of the entire world.
Love is the sacrifice. Love is the law. Love is radiance, not contraction. Love is the action in which ego and all reactions are dissolved, since all such things are only contraction. Fear is only contraction. Sorrow is only contraction. Anger is only contraction. Mind in all of its realms, high or low, is only contraction. Where contraction ceases, there is no ego to survive, no reactions to dramatize into separation, no fear, no sorrow, no anger, no thought, no other. Love is action. It is not action by an other or a part of a separate one. It is not merely action of body, or feeling, or thought. It is action of the whole body. It is the disposition of radiance, prior to self apart in all its actions, which are all forms of contraction. It is neither inside nor outside the individual. It is all-pervading. It is the prior condition of the whole body and all worlds. Therefore, when radiance penetrates and dissolves all contraction, then bodies and worlds become unnecessary. Then all arising is sacrifice at last. All things are dissolved in radiance once penetrated by love. Love is ignorance. At last it takes nothing into account. In love we are each a living sacrifice, not a someone trying to survive. There is only love, only radiance, only sacrifice. Therefore, when all things, all others and I are gone to love, there is no relief from bliss, no word to interrupt the current of ignorance and answer it by name. When love is altogether true, when radiance shines so hard it opens up the hand, then there is only God, and God is love. Love is the sacrifice of man.
The living God is transcendental and all-pervading. The divine person is the one who appears to be modified or differentiated in the form of the world, all beings, all that is not self, and all that is self. That one is the radiant substance or condition that is modified as all forms, conditions, states, thoughts, and experiences. That one is the transcendental identity, being, consciousness, or happiness that is differentiated as the independent and limited self. That one is the life current that pervades and yet transcends the body. That one is the mind or consciousness that pervades and yet transcends the mind or psyche. That one is the being that pervades and yet transcends the separate self-sense. That one stands or is priorly established in the right side of the heart. That one is radiant above the crown of the head. That one flows alive in the body, living the body via the internal circle of the current of love bliss. I have realized that one. I am lived by that one. The mind in this body is utterly surrendered in that mind. This self is dissolved in that self. It is this one that I have indicated and proclaimed by the name Da. Therefore, my devotees call upon the divine person, the living God, by the name Da. I am born only for the sake of the devotees of the living God. I am a sacrifice for devotees. I am the servant of devotees. I am John, the messenger of Da.
I have come into this world for the sake of my devotees, those who are mine. Those who belong to me were rendered to me before all time as the expressions of my appearance in the uncreated realm of light. Amrita Nadi, the intuited form of God, is the spiritual expression in this world of my very nature and the nature of reality. I am the unqualified nature of the real, and I appear as my own light, which reflects my prior self. The self or heart is not a static condition, not the thing of being, but the very condition, the process of eternal transformation, in which there is no dilemma, and which paradoxically is eternally one and unqualified. Just so, from the unqualified reality spring worlds of uncreated light, and from the heart and its perfect light spring conditional worlds, whose substance is that same light, and whose nature or principle is that same heart or reality. Therefore, I have appeared in this world by virtue of a materialization of the uncreated light, which is also my own light. I have come for the sake of my own, those who recognize me when I reveal myself to them in forms of life, light, and truth. The heart and the light are my spiritual expressions in this world. They are a communication of the uncreated reality and the uncreated worlds. I am here to live with my own, to discipline and teach them, to reveal the truth to them, and to draw them closer to me, to the light and the uncreated life. I am alive as Amrita Nadi, the heart and its spire, the bright or conscious light. This is always so. When I come to you, I intensify the field of brightness, the field of uncreated light that rests above your head and which is drawn down into the body when the mind lies formless in the heart. Whenever I have been with you, I have done this from the heart. The communication of the heart and its light are my constant practice. Therefore, such is the constant realization of those who always live in satsang with me, who know I am always present with them, even if I do not appear to them. This is why the various phenomena of your spiritual lives have arisen or been intensified, purified, and made intelligent whenever you have been mindful of me. I am always offering this prasad. When you come to me, you should come with the appropriate attitude. You should come prepared to give me your gifts, the surrendering of your seeking. You should come to turn to me, to accept my prasad, and to use it in life and service to me. If you make your relationship to me the condition of your life, if you make satsang your sadhana, I will give myself to you entirely, and the life, light, and very existence that is Amrita Nadi, the form of reality, will thus be communicated to you while you are alive. prepare yourself. I want true devotees, not seekers. I am the Siddha Guru, the Prasad, the object and process of meditation for my devotees. My teaching is this: turn to me and understand.
Mindless embodiment. Consciousness without inwardness. Thus it becomes obvious. Every object is only light, the energy of consciousness. Even so, there is no mind. Only the stark embodiment without inwardness. First, transcend the mind, not the body. Inwardness is flight from life and love. Only the body is full of consciousness. Therefore, be the body only, feeling into life. Surrender the mind into love until the body dissolves in light. Dare this ecstasy and never be made thoughtful by birth and experience and death.
Who or what is truth? Truth is not a person or a thing or a noble object or a thought. Truth is a process. Who or what is I? I is not a person or a thing or a noble entity or a thought. I is a process. The process that is truth and the process that is I are one and the same. What is the process that is I and that is truth? It is positive or self-transcending bodily submission to the radiant, all-pervading life principle. It is the bodily love of life, done to the absolute degree until there is only life. This is the law, and it is all you need to know. Do this, be this, and you will realize happiness, enjoyment, health, longevity, wisdom, joy, freedom, humor, ecstasy, and the radiant way that leads beyond man and beyond the earth. Who or what is truth?
Mindless embodiment. Consciousness without inwardness.
Truth is not a person or a thing or a noble object or a thought.
Thus, it becomes obvious.
Truth is a process. Who or what is I?
Every object is only light, the energy of consciousness. Even so, there is no mind.
I is not a person or a thing or a noble entity or a thought.
Only the stark embodiment without inwardness.
I is a process. The process that is truth and the process that is I are one and the same. What is the process that is I and that is truth?
First transcend the mind, not the body.
It is positive or self-transcending bodily submission to the radiant, all-pervading life principle.
Inwardness is flight from life and love. Only the body is full of consciousness.
It is the bodily love of life, done to the absolute degree until there is only life.
Therefore, be the body only, feeling into life.
This is the law, and it is all you need to know.
Surrender the mind into love until the body dissolves in light.
Do this, be this, and you will realize happiness, enjoyment, health, longevity, wisdom, joy, freedom, humor, ecstasy, and the radiant way that leads beyond man and beyond the earth.
Dare this ecstasy and never be made thoughtful by birth and experience and death.
The mind is like a cave of bats. Countless eyes are suspended in darkness, with sharp feet clinging to the convolutions of the brain, hiding from light. The billions of thoughts and images swarm out in the dark night sky of mind, lusting and hungry for their objects. What can be done? No struggle in the sky can cause this numberless herd to vanish. But if attention itself is simply turned to the light, the inward crowd dissolves, and the cave and the sky dissolve in the night rise, passing beyond the day into brightness. And what is that light by which the mind is vanquished, if only attention is surrendered there? It is the all-pervading current of vibratory life, in which the body, the brain, and the world are floating. And it is the transcendental consciousness from which attention and then thought both rise. The way a bat follows sound into darkness with an open mouth to be fed. inwardness, and the illusion of independent identity make life desirable and glamorous and threatening, as if it were all leading somewhere we need to go. But when the inward illusion is dissolved, the world of relations stands plain. There is no desire, and therefore no sign of necessity. Fascination fails. Compassion awakens. The world is to be transcended, since it is never fulfilled. At times, I tries to create an inward realm of desiring thought again, in order to become lively at life again. But always tranquility overwhelms the inner man, and the world is relieved of its fascination. Now I serves to refresh and awaken his friends. Perhaps it is useless. But the moment passes, and truth is the only profound.
The man of understanding is not entranced. He is not elsewhere. He is not having an experience. He is not passionless and inoffensive. He is awake. He is present. He knows no obstruction in the form of mind, identity, differentiation, and desire. He uses mind, identity, differentiation, and desire. He is passionate. His quality is an offense to those who are entranced, elsewhere, contained in the mechanics of experience, asleep, living as various forms of identity, separation, and dependence. He is acceptable only to those who understand. He may appear no different from any other man. How could he appear otherwise? There is nothing by which to appear except the qualities of life. He may appear to have learned nothing. He may seem to be addicted to every kind of foolishness and error. How could it be otherwise? Understanding is not a different communication than the ordinary. There is only the ordinary. There is no special and exclusive communication that is the truth. There is no exclusive state of truth, but there is the understanding of the ordinary. Therefore, the man of understanding cannot be found. He cannot be followed. He can only be understood as the ordinary. He is not spiritual. He is not religious. He is not philosophical. He is not moral. He is not fastidious, lean, and lawful. He always appears to be the opposite of what you are. He always seems to sympathize with what you deny. Therefore, at times and over time, he appears as every kind of persuasion. He is not consistent. He has no image. At times he denies. At times he asserts. At times he asserts what he has already denied. At times he denies what he has already asserted. He is not useful. His teaching is every kind of nonsense. His wisdom is vanished. Altogether, that is his wisdom. At last he represents no truth at all. Therefore his living coaxes everyone only to understand. His existence denies every truth, every path by which men depend on certain truths, certain experiences, certain simulations of freedom and enjoyment. He is a seducer, a madman, a hoax, a libertine, a fool, a moralist, a sayer of truths, a bearer of all experience, a righteous knave, a prince, a child, an old one, an ascetic, a god. He demonstrates the futility of all things. Therefore he makes understanding the only possibility. And understanding makes no difference at all, except it is reality, which was already the case. Heartless one, Narcissus, friend, loved one, he weeps for you to understand. After all of this, why haven't you understood? The only thing you have not done is understanding. You have seen everything, but you do not understand. Therefore the man of understanding leaps for joy that you have already understood. He looks at the world and sees that everyone and everything has always understood. He sees that there is only understanding. Thus the man of understanding is constantly happy with you. He is overwhelmed with happiness. He says to you, "See how there is only this world of perfect enjoyment, where everyone is happy, and everything is blissful." His heart is always tearful with the endless happiness of the world. He has grasped it, but no one is interested. He is of interest to no one. He is fascinating. He is unnoticed. Since no one understands, how could they notice him? Because there is only understanding. He is beloved, and no one comes to see him. Because there is only truth, he is likely to become famous. Since there is only joy, he will not be remembered. Because you have already understood, you find it necessary to touch his hand. Since you love so much and are not understood, you find it possible to touch his ears. He smiles at you. You notice it. Everything has already died. This is the other world.